Hey friends, you got a minute to talk about everything going on in the Middle East? There's some things that have been really bothering me about the rhetoric behind it, the propaganda we're seeing, the deja vu. And despite this cute dog behind me, we're going to have a serious talk for a few minutes. So undeniably, okay, Iran has definitely violated some aspects of its nuclear obligations. They've been doing this for years. We know this. And the IAEA this week acknowledged that fact and actually accused them outright of violating their nuclear obligation. None of that is small, and none of that should be ignored. 1,000% agree. But does that mean that they've actually, made anything? Not yet. This should be the floor that we start any reasonable discussion about what to do. But more and more, this is feeling like the president is unable to broker this amazing deal that he's been bragging about. He can't get them to do it fast enough. And again, he's going to use Israel to break some legs to get what he wants. And I think this really highlights Trump's personality, okay? He isn't interested in facts, okay? Especially when these facts are going to get in the way of the sale, the narrative he's trying to make to the public. You see this in the way he's disregarding his own allies, intel. He's ignoring intelligence from his own specifically appointed Tulsi Gabbard, okay? He's ignoring them. Why? Because again, the truth doesn't serve him. Fear does. Manufactured crises. They always help serve. And much like a Christo-fascist leader who's authoritarian, he's going to create an enemy, an urgent, violent, world-ending villain to justify what he's doing, because that is what his masses respond to. Now, I can go further with this and say that he's clearly going to be benefiting himself with a Middle East conflict. From property deals to his military contractor buddies, making money off Israel, selling them bombs and everything else. You can't ignore the fact that he will also be able to expand his own family's personal overseas business interests, which he has a lot of interconnected, messy ties. So yeah, I don't think this is anything about national security. I think that this is an election year play, and I think this is profit disguised as patriotism. And again, Iran is not above reproach here. But I also feel like, again, Israel is being equally extreme in the way they're carrying out these targeted strikes without any care for, long-term damage to the region as far as nuclear contamination goes. You also have them making open threats against Khamenei, the leader of Iran, even personally invoking Saddam Hussein's name and pushing for regime change. And our president is saying some very coded language, as you can see here. It almost seems like he's agreeing. All of this language between Trump and Netanyahu, this isn't diplomacy, it's provocation. And it's part of a broader pattern that we have all seen before and is very, very familiar. Really brings to mind the 1954 Lavon affair, where Israel set up false flags in Egypt against U.S. and British assets in order to draw them into a conflict to help Israel hold on to its dominance in the Middle East. When that came to light, that really hurt the relationship between Israel and its allies. But it seems like we're back at it again, but with the blinders off. And it also reminds me of the faulty intelligence, fiasco we had back in 2003 with Bush and WMDs in Iraq, where we accepted forged documentation about an Iraqi uranium deal with Africa, the mobile labs intelligence that we've bid on as well. What's really messed up is that within the year of invading Iraq, we knew the intelligence was bullshit. And yet we stayed. And yet we continued towards overthrowing the government and destabilizing the entire fucking region. Much like the WMD fiasco 2003, we are seeing a similar strategy unfolding before us. Once again, there is a real violation because, again, there were questions by IAEA regarding Saddam's activities with weapons and what he was doing with them. They had legit violations, just not on the scale that was claimed. Sound familiar? And once again, we're seeing the narrative around this being inflated and almost FOMO-esque marketing is going on. And guys, the most important thing to take away from this is that We can't claim we don't see this coming. We know the intelligence is being bent once again. We know that Iran's weapon development is not nearly at the scale that they're claiming. Most importantly, we know what happens when fear wins and war follows. And this time, it's happening slowly enough for us to actually read the names on the body bags. Again, Iran is not clean here, okay? I get that, but escalation on this scale, talks of regimes change, we're seeing military strikes going on, preemptive military action going on. We're not even being told truthfully at what level we're participating until after it happens, and we've been told we're not participating. Guys, this is a legacy move. This is like a last gasp of Cold War era boomer leaders trying to settle these unfinished wars and geopolitical grudges the only way they know how. Firepower and body bags. There's seriously no lie left to hide behind in this situation.